Hey Matt, it's snowing.
Okay. That just means it's a good day to grill, and I'm using a little extra charcoal.
Okay. So what are you doing?
So what I'm doing now is I'm preparing my platform to start the charcoal on. With a chimney starter you can use paper or whatever to put underneath it, but I find that that's not very reliable. So what I have is a little brick. I put 5 briquettes on top of it, and then I fill up my chimney with about, I don't know, 1/3 to 1/2 full of new charcoal. And then I come over to my kettle, get all the old and put it on top. Obviously it's very windy and dusty, and it's also pretty doggone cold right now, but that's okay.
It's April. It's not supposed to be snowing.
Yeah, it's unseasonably cold for Missouri in April, but that's okay. Alright, so we're gonna grill anyway.
What you doing now?
So the next thing we need to do is put just a little bit of lighter fluid on our charcoal. I've got 5 briquettes here stacked up, and so we just want to soak these well. Doesn't take much because there's only 5, but you know, there you go.
We mean it.
Yeah, we want to mean it. And make sure you don't have any lighter fluid on your hand when you do this.
Did we mention it's windy?
Yeah, it is windy today.
There we go.
All right. So this technique is a way to get really reliable charcoal starter, or to start charcoal reliably. So now we carefully put our chimney over that, and sometimes it's a little bit too tall, but that's okay. So now we wait 20 minutes, and then we'll transfer it to the main kettle.
Okay. So Matt, you said you had a kettle. I've called it a grill. What is it?
So this is a classic Weber charcoal grill. I think they use the term charcoal kettle because it is shaped, you know, like a kettle.
Like a kettle, like my timpani drums.
And we've had this, I know we've used it for at least 2 years, possibly longer.
Okay.
And so this is the entry-level model. It's very, very simple, but honestly, you really don't need anything complex. It's got an adjustable air vent on the bottom.
Yeah.
And let me move it so you can see that.
Okay.
So now that's closed. Now that's open. Always have that open.
So you can see my
when
hand
you're
on
cooking.
there.
Yep. And so then it's got a grate that you set the charcoal on, and then a grate where you cook your food.
Okay.
On the lid, that's where you allow the airflow in. So when I cook, both the airflow on the top and the bottom are always wide open. And when I'm done cooking, I close them both, and that will snuff it out so then I can reuse the charcoal the next time.
Okay.
So the reason that we have a basic Weber kettle to do our grilling, for the longest time I used gas. I love cooking on a gas grill for one reason, actually 2 reasons. The first one is a fast preheat. It is ready to cook in 10 minutes. The second one is the control of the flame. Up, down, you can get a very quick reaction. The problem that I've found with all of my gas grills is that the parts go bad. You know, you're always replacing something on the gas grill, whether it's the grate or the burner or something else. Every year it was at least $50 or $100 in parts, you know, plus the frustration of I realize there's a bad part when I go to cook my steak. So I kind of got fed up with buying gas grills, and I bought this thing, and I haven't had to replace a thing on it, and it works like a champ every time. And, you know, it was $100. So far it's money well spent. The only downside is that now it's a 30-minute prep instead of a 10-minute prep, but, you know, it just gives me more time to drink beer, so I think that's a fair trade-off. All right, so it's been 20 minutes. And our charcoal is ready. So now what we're going to do is carefully dump it into the Weber kettle.
I'm going to try and stay out of the way.
And when you do this, make sure that no one is immediately in the path because sometimes ash can fly. And that's not a really good thing.
I will move. So we're scooching.
Alright, so the problem is the dump, and the wind is blowing away from you, so we're going to dump it in. Beautiful. Alright, get the last 5 briquettes. So now what we're going to do is arrange this so that we have basically sort of 2 parts in the collection of charcoal. We've got the primary direct cooking, and then so we'll cook in this part, and then if you needed indirect cooking, then that's what this would be for over here. This arrangement is really valuable if you're doing something really thick, like a pork chop or something like that, where you want to cook it directly for 10 to 15 minutes and then finish it up indirect. And so it'll be fine for our turkey burgers today. We started our charcoal and it went for 20 minutes, and then we put the charcoal in the kettle. So I always want to let my charcoal be in the kettle for 10 minutes before I cook on it. But during that time frame, I take the opportunity to clean the grate. So super simple. But the one addition that I do that may not be quite so common is after I use the metal brush or the wire brush, I'll then hit it with a paper towel wrapped around the brush. And the reason for this, I never used to do this before, but we saw an article on the news that talked about how some folks were getting grill bristles kind of in their food. I don't think we've ever had any problem with that, but I modified my process to incorporate this step to just try to address anything that may be left on the grill. So I don't know if it's necessary, but that's what we do. At this point in the process, our grill has been preheated, our patties have been prepared, so we're going to open up the kettle and put them on. And so they're pretty well centered. We're going to come back out in 4 minutes and check them and see how they're doing. Alright, so now we need to determine whether or not to flip them yet.
They're sizzling.
They're sizzling, but they're still too squishy.
Waiting.
Turkey burgers are extra juicy, hence the foil and cooking them for longer before we flip. I think we're probably about done. So we're going to go ahead and cheese it and toast our buns. Give it another minute like that and we should be good.
And that's all there is to it. But to shut off your Weber grill, all you've got to do is close the vents on the top and the bottom, and you can use your charcoal again next time. Till next time, this is Kay and Matt from Happy Trails Hiking. Thanks for watching.